Welcome to Cusco. All right, guys, so we're here in Cusco, and today we're going to try an experiment. We're using the Lonely Planet Peru book, and there's a page in there that talks about a self-guided, self-paced walking tour. We're going to try it for you and see how well it works. There's a lot of historical sites and whatnot. I think the walk is about 4 kilometers, and we're going to time to see how long it actually takes to do this walk compared on this route. So join us today while we walk in Cusco.
It's a beautiful day today. It is November 24th, and it's probably 70, 72 degrees out. Sun is shining, so looking forward to a beautiful day in Cusco.
The start of the tour starts here in the Plaza de Armas, which is in the center of town. It says that, like I said, 4 kilometers. It says roughly 3 hours for this. So let's stroll around the Plaza de Armas.
So now you're going to walk down the Calle del Medio and go to the Plaza Regocijo. So we are now in the Plaza Regocijo in Cusco, and something that I've found really charming about Cusco is that there are a lot of little squares like this that have a fountain in the middle or benches, trees, and then there's quaint buildings all around with restaurants and shops. This is the one that's closest to Plaza de Armas, and we actually ate here the other night at a really good restaurant over there. But yeah, I really enjoy all these little park green spaces in the town.
So behind me is a historical regional museum that's on the walking tour, and then further up the street is a old colonial mansion that you can see stunning views of the old architecture. It's now a hotel called Hotel Los Marqueses.
So this is the Plaza San Francisco, and behind me you can see there is a church and a museum. It is the Church and Museum of San Francisco. I'm not sure who San Francisco is, but there's a market in this square and we're gonna walk around it. So we just went into the museum. So San Francisco, it's St. Francis. So this is the St. Francis Church and Museum here. It was very quiet and cool in temperature in there, and it was a nice place to just go. It was 15 soles to get in. It was a nice place to just kind of go be in a peaceful, cool, quiet place for a little while. And they have a ton of, the walls are absolutely covered with paintings from the 17th century. Some of them show St. Francis's life. I mean, there's hundreds in there. You weren't allowed to film or take photos. And there's also the largest painting in South America in there. And it's a whole wall's worth of, I don't know if it was saints or I didn't look too closely at it, but it was a bunch of people's faces.
I know Jesus was at the top, so I'm assuming that it was saints.
Yeah.
The thing that drew me to this museum when I was looking at the Lonely Planet book was the fact that there was catacombs. And there's a ton of them, like hundreds of bodies, and they're just out in the open. And
yeah, there's several little spots where you can walk downstairs or walk in little rooms where there are just a bunch of bones. And so if you want to see that, this is a good place to come. The next place that we're going to walk by is the Church and Convent of Santa Clara. So we're going to go see if the door's open and we can peek inside. Oh, there's also a colonial arch that we're going to walk through. So we are in front of the Santa Clara Convent right now, and I do definitely recommend peeking your head inside if the door's open. They did have a prayer or a mass going on right now, so we just stopped in for a minute, and you couldn't take photos, but the ornamentation in there is very unique and beautiful, so definitely poke your head in if you can. I did notice, you can see these stones next to me. We learned on our 2-day tour in the Sacred Valley that the Spanish, when they invaded and conquered the Incas, they would often deconstruct Inca structures and then use the stones to build their own buildings. And to me, that's what this looks like, that they probably used the Inca stones to build this church. So just something interesting looking at the history of these buildings.
next we're going to the Mercado San Pedro.
our next stop after the market is the Palacio de Justicia, their courthouse. Side note, I do not speak Spanish, so if I'm mispronouncing anything, I apologize now.
Neither do I. I'm pretty American at those, so.
Even though I looked up how to pronounce it right before I filmed this clip, it's fine. But yeah, this is just their courthouse. It's a pretty building, and we're gonna walk past this and head over to a walkway that has Inca ruins. So let's go. We are on Loreto Street now, and you can see on both sides of me we have Incan walls. So the wall right here, which is the east wall, is one of the oldest walls in Cusco. The west wall just says it belongs to Amaru Cancha, which is Courtyard of the Serpents. So on the other side of this wall is a convent as well.
Fun fact about this Irish pub is that it is the highest Irish pub in the world. Because Cusco is about 11,000 feet in elevation. All right, so this is the streets with the 12-sided rock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that was 12. This is an Incan wall, and one of the things that we talked about when we were in the Sacred Valley was concave versus convex, and so the Incans perfectly aligned, so they didn't have to use mortar at all. And some people believe that there's like healing properties to this specific rock, the 12-pointed rock. I don't know, but it is pretty amazing how perfectly it fits into the wall without mortar.
Plaza San Blas, which the book says is Cusco's Bohemian HQ. So I'm not really sure what that means, but there's some shops in here. There's a fountain. That's nice. We ate dinner around here last night at a restaurant called UFO. It was actually a Japanese restaurant that had udon and ramen, and it was really good. So I recommend that if you're around this area. We only have one more stop left on our walking trip today, and it's just right over there.
This is Tandapata Street, and this is a classic example of Incan roadways. And along the road, you could see irrigation systems when it rains, which was really, really cool. Like the book says, it has this bohemian vibe to it. And it's probably one of the most charming streets in Cusco.
Well, that finishes our walking tour for the day. We started at 10:40 this morning, and it is now 4:30. Granted, we did go in the church, and we went in several shops. I mean, there's so many shops, and you'll walk in, and then it's just there's a courtyard with so many more shops. It's like, I don't know. So
Shops galore.
shops galore.
Mostly selling the same things.
Yeah.
So,
But we still go in.
because you never know. It might be cheaper.
We picked up a poncho, a sweater.
We also picked up...
Oh, yeah, we got a friend. Or is it an alpaca?
I think it's an alpaca.
It's got a shorter neck.
So, thank you for
So-
joining us today.
Yes. We are going to go have dinner and then have a massage. So we'll see you tomorrow when we go to Palcoyo. And we have to wake up very, very early.
And the elevation will be very, very high.
See you then. Bye.